Okay, going live. Uh, Summer, are you there?
Yes, Kitav.
Super. I'll just share the synopsis.
Right.
Just 1 second till I confirm whether we are live or not. Okay, we're live. Sorry, not this one. Yeah. Rajan bhai, should we start?
Yeah, please start.
Okay, Summer, over to you.
Yes. The sound has four gradations, of which Paranad prevails in creation, and wherever is Paranad, there is immortality, peace, and bliss. Paranad is contained or held within the divine fragment, whose vibrations are comparable to and commensurate with those of Paranad.
Purana, in a way, is the divine fragment in a certain way. Yeah. Hmm.
The Paranad, in passing through the major and minor rings past naught, is fractured, but nothing happens to the divine fragments.
Right. So para becomes Pashyanti and Pashyanti becomes Madhyama. And Madhyama becomes Vaikhari. Nad gets fractured, but the divine fragment remains the same.
No instrument, no object in any of the three universes of existence can raise sound to its original pitch of Paranad.
Hmm.
The divine fragment alone can sound and produce the notes of Paranad and can teach the aspirant to pronounce Om.
Hmm. Yeah.
Om is only a symbol, a code. Try to understand this code. It says something. Try to hear it. It cannot be pronounced by either the mouth or the mind, for it is the symbol of Paranat.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, what does it mean? It is a symbol, a code. So, how do we understand it in practical way?
No, it is what do you call a symbol or code, but when somebody asked Tauriya Sahib that just teach us what your divine fragment taught you, he taught him Omkar. So there is a resonance where we can slowly rise to that Paranat, but in that higher state, then body, mind, and everything will not remain in that. So that is when we want to burn the three seed atoms, we use the Paranat. But it is the closest sound to that which is Paranad is Om. Closest sound in a way we can say. Hmm.
Only recently, on the upward arc, about a 1 lakh years before our time, have body and mind of rare individuals shown any response to the many and continuous coded promptings sent to the mind and brain.
Hmm.
But we, as a race, are yet not able to respond because the body, mind, and senses are not yet on the same wavelength, and our spectrum of sight and sound has to improve very considerably first.
Achha, what is he saying in this? Ketab, can you just tell me?
1 second. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's what I'm trying to say. Also trying to pull this up from here. So what is
Some rare
saying
individuals have what do you call?
have achieved? Yes.
Hmm.
So some rare individual like a Krishna or a Jesus or others, they have reached a time where they're able to communicate with the
Higher
divine
mind.
friend.
Right, divine mind. Yeah.
But as a whole race, we are still not there yet.
Yeah. And the main thing is that we have not redeemed. We have not redeemed. Right. Hmm. So it is after redemption then it becomes possible. Right.
So all those negative emotions basically restrict our spectrum to a lower level.
Yes. Yes. Today. Mm.
How to bridge this gulf, not of language, but of the pitch of the sound?
Mm.
This is the basic problem, and unto this is the basic training.
Yes. How to keep on creating higher pitches of sound so we can move into Parana. This is the basic training. Training.
After ages and eternities of tamasic life, the material of which the present body and mind are fabricated are totally
Mm.
filled with tamasic matter and tamasic qualities. And the
Because
habits, yeah.
yes, because the cells are animal. The body has come through evolution, so it has brought with it the millions and millions of animal cells. Yeah.
And the habits long cultivated and indulged in of being and thinking, of eating and sleeping, and sex are too deeply ingrained in us.
Hmm.
We are indoctrinated to a particular way of life,
Hmm.
and memory patterns are also crude and brutal.
Right. So we have a whole what do you call network of what do you call nature's patterns which are lying at Manipur chakra, and they are all crude and brutal, and they have to be cleaned.
So, entirely new patterns have to be introduced.
Hmm.
The re education of the individual has to be brought about.
Hmm.
We must become biologically whole or complete.
Right. Right.
The whole body and the grey matter of the brain,
Hmm.
every cell thereof, has to move forward, and the tremendous inertia stored in every tissue and cell gathered thus has to be overcome.
So there's inertia in every cell. We don't want to do it. We don't want to make the effort, right? And that has to be overcome. Right?
Time and again, the body and mind will lapse into their previous grooves, the old lethargic tamasic grooves.
Habits of the intellect, habits of the emotion, habits of moving, habits of sensitivity, and habits of sex. We keep on going back into that.
To be biologically complete requires a methodical and scientific approach.
Right.
Only when the individual is biologically complete, it has spiritual will and will realize its partnership with God.
That the spiritual will is not our will, it is the will of God, the will of the divine, and it works through us. Right. Mm. Yeah.
Like, should we start reading, Rajan bhai?
Right. Yeah, we can start reading.
Okay. Alka, are you there with us?
Hi, yes, I am. Is the voice clear?
Yes, yes. One second, we'll just take us to the right page.
On this difficult path, only willingness and sincere efforts do not help. They are
Yes.
indeed,
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, very sorry.
no,
Very.
no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They are indeed much needed and indispensable.
Hmm.
But we must properly understand what is it to be done and why we are doing a particular thing.
This is very important. People don't have this. That is, before doing any, there must have be an intellectual understanding of the whole, what do you call, pathway. That where we are, where we have to go, how are we going to do it, what kind of discipline is needed. There must be an intellectual understanding, right? It is like if I want to go to Delhi, then I must know what milestones are going to come in between. Right? And this must, everybody must intellectually know this. But people, they just follow something. You say do Omkar, they'll do Omkar. You say do three-step rhythmic breathing, they do three-step rhythmic breathing. People will do what you call the refining exercises. But why are we doing it? And he's saying with every refining, you must keep in front of your mind why we are doing it, right? And that is very, very important. And only that can lead to at least an intellectual understanding of why we are doing things. The problem to change. Why?
That is why it is so essential to study yoga scientifically.
Hmm.
Why our efforts have to be directed by scientific methods.
I was recently on Facebook, one guru is giving all his disciples, they're sitting in meditation and they are just reciting what you call affirmations. I am getting better. I am doing this. I am feeling happy. I am feeling that. Now, this is just a way of, what you call fooling your own self, right? And right. So Hmm. Another guru will be saying, I am Atma. So all the disciples are reciting, I am Atma. But what is Atma? What is body brain system? What is this? Why are we Atma? Right? At least there must be an intellectual understanding behind everything we do. Hmm.
We must understand how our brain works, how the body responds, how energies are created and directed,
Yes.
whether
Hmm.
astral emotional primary body is a fact, and how it can cooperate.
Yes. How to transform the emotional body to the primary astral body. That is most important. Why we have to do it? Because the emotional body reacts. The emotional body gets attached. The emotional body is full of negative emotions. And till with that emotional body, we can't go anywhere. It's not possible, right? And to make it the primary body, it has to be purified of all this. Hmm. Then it will cooperate. Yeah.
For remember that all existence is based on law.
Hmm.
It has a scientific foundation.
Right. So everything we do, does it have a scientific foundation? Is it based on the law, right? And which are the laws? Can we intellectually understand those laws? What is law of three? What is law of seven, right? How do they work? Hmm.
Mere breathing exercises that pass off as pranayam or postures or japa will not help.
Yeah, not right.
Never will ready bottled TM help.
Yes. TM is a form of japa only.
That's it.
Right. Yeah.
This will only give consolation that one is on the path and may induce the holier than thou feeling, against which we must be very careful.
Yeah. So just repeating Coca-Cola or something like TM, right? It will only give us a consolation. Uh, See, in this path, there is no consolation prize. Either you get first prize or you don't get any prize, right? So there's nothing like a consolation prize that you have not reached the final post and that's why you will get a consolation prize. Hmm. Yeah.
Book 3, verse 15. The stage of development is responsible for the various modifications of the versatile psychic nature and of the thinking principle.
Hmm. So unless the level of being changes, the transformation of the chitta is not going to take place. The level of being has to change. And then there will, till then, otherwise, because the level of being is low, the stage of development is low, there are continuous modifications in the chitta or psychic nature and thinking principle. Right.
Sage Patanjali points here to the biological completeness. Refer to the sequence of diagrams 1, 2, 3a.
Okay, we'll have to learn. Summer, can you make a note over here?
Yes, sir.
Page number and this thing, because I'm now writing notes on the diagrams.
Okay.
So wherever he has referred to the diagrams, just make a note.
Right, sir. Right.
Right.
Biological completeness without which these modifications are uncontrollable and the various memory patterns arise without conscious control.
Right. So till then we are what you call totally driven by memory patterns, and most of the memory patterns are animal-like, and we go around without any conscious control. It's totally mechanical.
The versatile psychic nature is the undeveloped state of lower emotions.
Yes. Lower emotions. Our psychic nature is all a lower psychic nature, right, of lower emotions.
What's a versatile psychic nature when you're not steady? The
versatile, what do you say?
What is a versatile psychic nature?
Yeah. The psychic nature, that is, what do you call, the chitta, the mind stuff.
Is not steady.
Yeah. Is it, where is it not steady written?
No, when it says it's versatile means that it is not, it has got many aspects and many facets and it's not like centered. Does that
The
what
versatile means it has a possibility of a higher, what do you call, possibilities are lying as seed in there, right? But in its present state, it is undeveloped state of lower emotions. It's not a proper sentence, this one.
Okay.
So we have a versatile psychic nature which has many possibilities of higher possibilities, but at present it is lying in a state of undeveloped,
Okay.
state of lower emotions.
So he's colored by the lower emotions.
Yeah.
Meaning the potential is very high, but it is undeveloped.
It remains unused throughout life.
Yeah.
Right.
Refer to the intensity charts and of the thinking instrument, which is more than just the brain alone.
Right.
And yet it is stated very simply in Book 1, verse 2. Yoga is achieved through subjugation, healing of the psychic nature, and the restraint, calming of the chitta.
Right. Right. So yoga is chitta vritti nirodha. But this, what do you call, translation of chitta vritti nirodha by Tavariaji Sahib has been done as healing of the psychic nature and calming of the thinking instrument. Right? So, chitta. So the psychic nature is all the patterns which are animal kind. And chitta is all the modifications, the vrittis which are arising. So, I mean, it's a very different translation, right? I have a small story behind this. If you're interested, I can say it. Otherwise, we go ahead. Yes.
Yes, please.
Huh?
I
So,
think it'd be very interesting to hear it.
Yes, please, Rajen.
huh?
Please share this. Please share the story.
Right.
Yes, please, Gurudev.
So,
Very nice.
before Tavariya Sahib had come here, what do you call? I had brought some of his lectures from Mumbai. And this we are talking about 1988. And Bhagwan and we were listening to those lectures. So Bhagwan for years I mean, he must have been studying the Yoga Sutras right from what do you call 1965 or 70 onwards. And so he was very, very into the Yoga Sutras. And he says, how is it possible that anyone can rearrange the sutras? So then in 88 November, Tauria Sahib came to Madhopur, and he immediately started lecturing on three-step rhythmic breathing and what do you call it. So that day it was okay. The next morning I went early to his room, and we were talking, and I said, why don't we go and meet Bhagwan? So we went in the ashram. His room was on the ground floor and Bhagwan's room was on the first floor. So we went to the first floor to Bhagwan's room, and then Bhagwan, he sat there, and then Bhagwan said, okay, I don't understand one thing. You have uh, rearranged this sutra. So then he said this first sutra, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, which is the second sutra actually, but the first in a way. So he says that the first sutra, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, you have translated as subjugation and what you call restraint and calming and healing and of the this thing. So he says, I don't understand how this is done. So uh, Tavaria Sahib said that what do you what mean by this chitta vritti nirodh? So Bhagwan said it means total nirodh, not only nirodh in the individual mind, but nirodh even in the what do you call universal mind. He used Tavariaji's own terms. Bhagwan used. So Tavariaji said, but that is uh, in reality impossible. There is no state as complete nirodh. Even in the deepest samadhi, 15 to 30 modifications happen per second. So he says the modifications, there's no state as complete nirodh. So when you translate the sutra, it has to be translated that the modifications or the vrittis are calming down, because there is no state as zero vritti as complete nirodh. And that is why I have given the translation as what you call calming of the thinking instrument and healing of the psychic nature, right? Because the chitta cannot come, it is impossible for it to achieve a state of complete nirodh. Even in the deepest nirodh state, 15 what you call vrittis will go on per second. And that is why I've translated it this way. And that is, and Bhagwan, for the first time, he understood immediately what Tavaria Sahib was saying. And he was really thrilled with the idea. Of course, I mean, somebody who has experienced and is saying that there is no state as complete nirodh, you have to translate it in this way. So that is this small story I wanted to tell you behind this sutra, which right. I hope people enjoy the story. Huh?
Rajan bhai, you are very lucky. You meet so many masters. You are very lucky. Huh?
Lucky the day I met you.
Definitely, I met you. Not
So that is the story behind this sutra. This sutra, and I mean, we can understand that he has given a completely different translation to each sutra. There's a very different translation to each sutra, and that is why. I mean, anyway, we'll go ahead. I think.
So you will be convinced that a scientific and methodical approach is most essential and will take an aspirant on the road without heartbreaks or regrets or depression or feelings of guilt.
Right. So there must be an intellectual understanding, and there must be an understanding that to achieve the state of yoga, a scientific and methodical, what do you call, approach is needed. Methodical approach is needed, right?
Many disciples have gone off the path in sheer desperation, and many more will.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't understand where we are and where we have to go, and what has to be done, then we'll keep on trying to do something and not achieve anything, right? And now, say we take a simple fact that there must be an understanding of my psychic nature. So, supposing we take psychic nature as essence. Now, what is my essence demanding? Where is my essence incomplete? So, I may be a very good musician and I may enjoy doing music and I may enjoy what you call giving musical programs. But is my essence demanding music or is my essence demanding something else? And till we are able to scientifically know what has to be done, right? At least intellectually, we may keep on what you call practicing in music, whilst the essence may be asking for some completeness in some totally different direction. Right? Yeah.
Quite often, we hear mention of the pairs of opposites.
Mm.
It is a science by itself and requires very deep understanding. But before we come to this, we must be aware of the quality of our thinking.
Now, what is the quality of our thinking? What is the quality of our thinking?
Element just now it is on the lower nature, right? Elements after definitely we are doing so many, but we are trying to improve
No,
our
no.
thinking.
Right?
Then
He's saying we hear of the mention of the pairs of
Opposites.
opposites,
Opposites.
right? And the quality of our thinking. We cannot have a single thought without the pair of opposites, right? Because every thought, there is a some amount of comparison in the thought. To compare, you need two things, right?
mm,
We cannot create a thought without comparison.
right.
So every thought there is memory, every thought there is comparison.
Mm,
So he says you hear about the pairs of opposites and we try to understand it by our thinking, right? But how can we understand by, because thinking can never be free of pair of opposites. But if we can learn to move into a higher form of thinking, where we slowly reduce the, what do you call, the use of comparison and bring more relativity into our thinking, then we may understand, okay, till now we were stuck in the opposites and now we are moving above the opposites.
Okay. Mm,
See, it's like this, that I fall in love with a girl and
mm,
she's such a beautiful girl and everything is so nice,
mm,
right? And she makes tea for me and everything,
mm,
right? And then we get married.
mm,
After marriage, she says, you let me sleep, I make your tea on your own, right?
mm, mm.
Right? And this happens in every marriage. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
yeah. So, uh, now, was that opposite side of her in her in the first place?
Yeah, it was there, right.
But because my thinking is a slave of opposites, I could not see it.
Right.
But if I'm free of thinking in opposites, I can think beyond opposites. Then, even before it has happened, I will be able to see, okay, there are two sides to this person, and I can see one side, but there is a hidden side which is going to come out after the marriage.
Right.
Then I see the person free of opposites.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh,
So,
the opposite, it means you say that there is no opinion about it, or there is a understanding.
there is an understanding now. And
Mm.
understanding is beyond opposites.
Okay, okay.
Right? Just now, night is night and day is day. But then I realized that night and day, without day, there can be no night, and without night, there can be no day.
Mm-hmm.
Both are not opposites, both are parts, are two
Right.
sides of the same coin.
Right.
You get it?
Yeah, right, right. Mm-hmm.
Now, this is much more deeper also,
Mm.
because later on, do you want to go into it little deeper, or do we want to? What do
Yeah, please,
Yes,
please,
please.
please,
Yes,
please.
See, everything is supported by its opposite.
Right.
So supposing I'm a very loving person,
Mm.
then you have to see that is the opposite there in me, which is supporting this loving, which I'm showing outside. Or have I reached a state beyond opposites where then that love is free of opposites?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see? I
Yeah.
love you because you make my tea.
Mm.
But if you don't make my tea, then I'll hate you also. So even love becomes a what you call victim of opposites.
But if you go beyond it, it cannot be,
Then,
right?
then,
If you
then there's no change in that.
there's
Then
no
no
change. Right.
opposite. So higher emotions have no opposites,
Right.
right? Then whether you make the tea, you don't make the tea, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then nothing changes over there.
Mm.
But wherever there is up and down, there is always opposites.
Right. Mm. Thank you.
Mm.
We are not referring here to the quality of thought.
Mm.
They are two different subjects. The quality of thinking is dependent on the development of the thinking instrument,
Yeah.
which is brain plus something else.
Brain plus manas. Mm.
Something else, Rajan Bhai?
Manas.
Okay.
Astral brain. The astral brain. Mm.
The quality of thought can be good with a poor thinking instrument and can be bad with a good and developed thinking instrument.
Yeah. So even with a very developed thinking instrument, I can have very bad quality of thought. I may be intrinsically cunning, I may be intrinsically intelligent, but I use my intelligence to just harm people, right? And to cheat people. That I have a very developed thinking instrument, but quality of thought is very bad, is very low.
Just as an educated person need not necessarily be a bad person, nor an educated person need necessarily be a good person.
Yeah. It is what kind of thoughts we are having, right? An uneducated, simple person may not have so many thoughts of sex or excitement. He may be happy just being in nature. So the quality of thoughts is of a very better kind, good kind. Whilst an educated person may be having thoughts of sex or excitement all the time, and he changes everything.
For this, study the intensity charts.
Yeah.
Then, when we check the quality of our thinking, we must discern whether it is one, mere automatic response, 2, shallow thinking, 3, correct thinking, 4, logical thinking, 5th, logical and correct thinking, 6th, intuition, or 7th, wisdom.
Wow. These are the steps. These are the steps, right?
Yeah.
First, automatic response, we react, right? Shallow thinking, right? We take a very, very shallow view of life. Correct thinking. So then logical thinking, logical and correct thinking. Then intuition and wisdom. Wow. Right.
Rajan Bhai, yeah, correct thinking. What do you think about just explain the correct thinking?
Correct thinking is to see a fact as a fact. Correct thinking, right? Shallow thinking, why this has happened in my life, right? Right, it is. So I say that so much pain and suffering in my life, why has it happened? Right? I have
Hmm.
not done harm to anyone. This is shallow thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But correct thinking, it has come and now I will accept it, is correct thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Logical thinking, that what logic is based on this? Has it come out of a memory pattern? Has the memory pattern invited this pain?
Mm.
right? How was that memory pattern formed? Did I sow a seed at some time to form that memory pattern? So correct thinking is that what the fact is, the fact does not happen just like that. It comes according to a law, right? But shallow thinking, why this happened to me, it should have happened to somebody else, right?
Mm.
And then to have correct thinking and logical thinking together. Uh, He calls this as judicial reasoning. Judicial reasoning. And then to go beyond reasoning into intuition and wisdom, vivek and pragna.
Uh, what would be the difference between intuition and wisdom?
Intuition, there will still be, he has already given you the hint. What is there in intuition?
Oh, opposites or dual.
Yes. So in intuition, the opposites are still there in intuition. And in wisdom is beyond the opposites. So it's like this, that I have two choices, right? So in intuition, I'm intuited that this is the right choice. Can you get it? But in wisdom, there are no two choices. I just know that this has to be done. So there's no question of any choice. I
It
don't know.
means in intuition there is no doubt for it. Na? In intuition, it is not after the memories bypass is intuition, Rajan bhai.
It is, but still there is choice.
Okay.
There is still choice. Either this or either that. Vivek. In Vivek, there is always two.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst in Pragna, there is only one.
Yeah, yeah.
I know this has to be done, but that's it. There is no what you call whether to do this or whether to do that, which that my intuition does not tell me that this is right and this is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
In wisdom, I know this is right and there is nothing like wrong.
Right. It means in the wisdom, you know the cause of the effect of the causes, which are the lying behind the
So
effect.
you
Is it
know that
so?
this is divine will wants this and you just do that.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Right? You're just a medium for divine will.
Pranam Gurudev, may I ask?
Yeah, please.
Over here, in these three steps, the laws of threes, I'm sure they play a role in which the tamasic quality would be getting less and less as you go from step 1 to step 7. Is that
Very,
correct?
very well said. Very well said. Right. So in the mere automatic response, there'll be more of what do you call rajas and tamas.
Right.
Right. In shallow thinking,
Yeah.
there'll be more of tamas. In correct thinking, now more of sattva has started coming in. And correct and logical thinking, much more of sattva. And when it is nearly pure sattva, it will be wisdom. Very true. Very well said.
But we can fall as well, going from 7 to 1 or 5, because it's always fluctuating.
If we are on guard, if we are doing the rhythmic breathing, and the rhythmic breathing is like a guard, it's like a guard, a dwarpal, right? So
Right.
then, unless we do something very big, we won't fall.
And the animal cells during this time, they being transformed with the 3-step breathing, therefore our clarity of thinking would be changing. Is
Yes.
that right?
The thinking will not be shaded by excitement.
Very difficult though, Gurudev.
No, I see a lovely t-shirt and I get excited. I want to buy it. My thinking is shaded by excitement.
Right.
Right. But now
And that's
a beautiful
practice.
t-shirt and I'd have a correct thinking. I say I already have 10 t-shirts in my this thing, that do I need that t-shirt or I don't need that t-shirt. Right.
Mm.
Mm.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
All these shades of understanding are very essential, and in a proper setting, with sage Patanjali's guidance of instructions given word by word of mouth, one is better placed to make a proper progress.
Right. Right.
Sage Patanjali states in Book 3, verse 9, the sequence of mental states is as follows. The mind reacts to that which is seen or heard, felt, etc. Then follows the moment of mind control.
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
Then ensues a moment wherein the chitta responds to both these factors, what is seen and what is reacted to. Finally, these pass away and the perceiving consciousness has full sway.
Right. Right. So here he's talking about the beginning of pause. So the first state is mere automatic response, right? Shallow thinking. Then what is correct thinking? To pause the, what do you call, reaction. Now, when you pause the reaction, there will be a moment where the chitta, the mind stuff, responds to both these factors. One, which are the two factors? Mind control, right? And what's the other one?
The controlling factor.
And the controlling factor, controlling factor. So what has been heard or the mind wants to react, the reaction is the controlling factor, and the pause is the mind control. So there is a moment where the chitta responds to both these factors, to both these factors. There'll be a tug of war inside that you, in one you will, the reaction will become more powerful. In one, the pause will become more powerful. There'll be a tug of war. Sometimes the pause is more powerful. Again, you'll say, nay, this time let me give it back to him. This time, next time I'll pause. Right? So again, this tug of war. And at a moment that tug of war will, what do you call, dissolve completely, this will pass away, and only the, what do you call, there will be a sensitivity of the seer inside, the perceiving consciousness. Vyuthana nirodha, sanskaryo abhibhava, pradurbhava, nirodha kshana, chitta anvaya, nirodha parinama. So this is the Sanskrit one, Vyuthan, fragmentation, right? Vyuthana Nirodha Sanskar, the habit of what you call reaction, which is Vyuthan. The habit of reaction, Vyuthan, is Nirodha Sanskar, Abhibhava Pradurbhava. Abhibhava is setting, is going away. So the old habit of reacting, the old habit of shallow thinking is going away. Vyuthana Nirodha, Vyuthana Sanskara Abhibhav, Nirodha Sanskar Pradurbhav. So Vyuthan, the old sanskar of reacting all the time, which has been going on for thousands of years, that is now going away. It is setting like the setting sun. Abhibhava is setting like the setting sun. Nirodha sanskara pradurbhava. The sanskar of nirodha, the sanskar of pause is now rising like the rising sun. So the old mechanical sanskar is going, the new conscious sanskar of pausing is right. Then moments of mind, Nirodha Kshana Chitta Anvaya. In a certain moment, the chit is responding to both. It gets attached either to the reaction or the chitta gets attached to the pause. And then ensues a moment where the chitta responds to chitta anvaya, responds to both. Nirodha Kshana, Nirodha Parinama. And finally, these pass away, and the chitta has transformed. There's nothing in the chitta, only the Nirodha Parinam, the result of the Nirod, the transformation which happens in Nirod. And the transformation is that there is a sensitivity of the seeing consciousness, the perceiving consciousness inside. Right? So this is this thing. Right. Yeah.
And further in Book 3, verse 10, through the cultivation of this habit of the chitta, there will eventually occur a steadiness of spiritual perception.
Yes. So if the more we practice, initially there'll be a tug of war, and the point will come where the pause will become so like a new conscious habit, spontaneous pause. We won't have to make any effort. We won't have to remember what the guru said. We won't have to tense and relax our muscles. We won't have to change our breathing. The pause will come so automatically in that, and the chitta will just flow in the pause. Tasya prashanta vahita sanskara. The new sanskar of pause is now flowing like a beautiful river, like a very shant river, like a very, what do you call, the new sanskar of pause. The old sanskar of yuttam, of reaction, has gone away. And the new sanskar of pause, initially you had to make an effort to do it. And now there is, if it is done totally effortlessly, it has become like a new, what do you call, our second nature. There will through the cultivation of this habit of pause, habit of the chitta, there will eventually occur a steadiness of spiritual perception. And then, because there are no fluctuations in the mind, there's just the pause, just the perceiving consciousness having, so it will grow into something called spiritual perception. Tasya prashanta vahita sanskara.
And finally, in Book 3, verse 11, the establishing of this habit over a period of cultivation and the restraining of the mind, calming of the thinking instrument from its thought form making tendency, results eventually in the constant power to contemplate.
One pointedness. It results in one pointedness. Now, attention is totally, it is there without being fluctuated. Tata puna shanta udita. I have forgotten the whole sutra. Tata puna shanta udita. Acha.
Bhavya just shared
Sarvartha
it over the chat.
ekagrata shayo uday chittasya samadhi parinam. Then the last one is tatapuna. Sarvarthata. In the beginning, because we were reaction, our attention was fragmented all over the place. Sarvarthata. Right? Sarvarthata. Put that old sutra again back. Bhavya.
Oh, if you just open the chat, it will come. The chat at the bottom.
Sarvatrata ekagrata shaya udayo. Right? Means the fragmentation where attention was going all over the place, shay થયો છે. It has, what do you call, it has diminished. And ekagrata, one pointed, is now rising. Ekagrata uday, sarvartha shay, chittasya samadhi parinam. And this is the transformation into one pointedness, the samadhi parinam of the chitta, right? Of samadhi parinam. So the establishing of this habit and the restraining of the mind, the establishing of the habit is ekagrata uday, restraining of the, sorry, and restraining of the mind, ekagrata uday, and sarvartata shay, from its thought-making tendency, the sarvartata sthai, from this habitual chattering of thought, results in the power to contemplate, to focus your attention on one place. Chittasya samadhi parinam. You can hold your thought in one place, hold your attention in one place. Right. And then there's one more sutra in this series, number 12, where he says, then the attention does not fluctuate and it becomes one-pointed. Udita chittasya ekagrata parinam. Right. We had done these sutras with Mr. Tavaria. It was real fun. We had done these sutras with him. And I still remember he used to explain them with so much of passion and so much of love. He used to explain these 4 sutras. He really loved these 4 sutras. Right. And I think he explained them when he was explaining the pause. When he was explaining the pause. Yeah, shall we stop here, and any questions we can take?
Rajan,
Yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead,
all the
please.
different stages of thinking, what Sahib has explained, we can understand it by the diagrams shown by Sahib only. Like 1 and 2 fall in most of 95% of the humanity fall in 1 and 2. 3, 4, and 5 are the individual, those who are established in stage 3A, whatever he has explained in 3A.
Can we go back to that? Can we, Ketav, can you go back to that? Yeah. So,
yes,
Automatic response and
all-
shallow thinking will be 248.
yeah, most of the 95% of humanity are into that.
Right.
Then Saib has shown a diagram 3A where 5 to 2 1 ratio is established. Individuals in whom the ratio is now 2482, they are reaching towards 5 to 2 1. So these are the people who fall in 3, 4, and 5. And those
Shall we
who
take
are
it in a, shall we take it in a little different way?
Okay.
So 1 we will take as 2482.
Okay.
2 as 5221.
Okay.
Right?
Hmm.
3 as logical and correcting thinking.
That that can also
3A.
4 and 5 also 5 to 2 1. And intuition is those who are in 3B stage, and wisdom is in those who are in 3C stage.
There you are true, exactly right. 3B is
Yeah.
intuition, 3C is
Yeah.
wisdom, 3A is logical and
In
correct thinking.
intuition, memory is bypassed already, and in 3C, we're bottling of prana within, and those
Right.
who are beyond all this. And
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But shallow thinking, correct thinking, and logical thinking, we will take in 5221.
Yeah, right.
So, diagram 1, automatic response and shallow thinking. Diagram 2, correct thinking and logical thinking.
Right.
3A, logical and correct thinking together.
Well, yeah, right.
3B, intuition, and 3C, wisdom.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Okay.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you
Thank you.
for bringing this up. Thank you. Someone just make a note of whatever is connected to the diagrams. Huh?
Yes, sir. Will do.
Please, thank you. Because I have to talk on the diagrams in January. So
That will be an interesting talk, Rajan bhai.
let's see.
Maybe 2 things, that even intensity chart also you have to take one time, at not now, but at least once you finish the diagram, you have to start with the intensity chart also.
So that will be the following January.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Right. The more we postpone it, the more we have to keep you alive for it.
It will be more interesting, I can say.
Right. Okay. Any other questions? Anyone else? Okay, we'll stop here. Meet next week.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you and
everyone.
Jai Bhagwan, Rajan bhai.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gurudev.
Thank you, Rajan bhai.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.